motion to appoint a temporary board clerk.
I move to appoint Mr. Boyer as the temporary board clerk.
Second.
All those in favor? 4-0. Welcome aboard.
Welcome to more added responsibility.
We do have an evaluation rubric that I'll ask you to complete at the end, so.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right. All right, so moving on to waiver of notice.
First, let me say thank you for the urgency. I hope you will appreciate why I did not wait another week. I think this is probably predicated on what's best for stakeholder groups, specifically our families and our parents that need as much time to plan as possible. What we're going to propose for you today is to shorten the school calendar. I'm going to walk through the mechanics of what we're thinking as well as why. So first, for purposes of orientation, let's look at the current calendar. It was slated to end on the 22nd of May. So really effectively beginning today, 3 weeks left of school. What we are going to propose is the last day with students would be a full day on Tuesday, May the 19th. So it shortened the time with students by 3. And then we're going to propose that Wednesday, May 20 becomes teacher work day with a checkout. We will have our end of year staff picnic in there. And then Thursday, May the 21st becomes a teacher flex day. And for those that still need to check out, they can do so then as well. So staffing wise, both certified and classified, there will be a structural change to what the days look like, but there would not be a shortening or lessening of hours in that regard. I'm happy to talk through what we're thinking on the classified side. This is predicated really on 2, I would say, primary things. The first of which is with the shutting down of the IC and the moving of 5th grade, there is a number of things, if you will, logistically that need to occur. And this gives those classrooms the chance to kind of pack up and prepare for the move that will occur over the summer. This is also predicated on the fact that to date, we have only taken 2 days off total for inclement weather. Those were December the 2nd and January the 26th. Harken back a year ago, it was a much different situation. If you recall, we were actually adding minutes to the calendar. So for context, we started the year with 67 and change surplus hours. With those 2 days off in round numbers, we're still over the state minimum by about 54 hours. So it's still well over what the state of Kansas requires and expects for school districts. All right, what can I answer? What questions do you have? What's on your mind before you make this decision?
Could you just briefly say what we're doing on the classified side?
Sure. So I'm going to say it best is described as they are always allowed to take their leave, but I want to make it clear they are not expected to take their leave. So if some of them say, hey, I want to opt out of those days, I'm not interested, they can always be able to take their leave, okay? But we're going to be able to work with them as far as where they may be temporarily reassigned, for lack of a better phrase, during those 2 days to help with the move. Suffice it to say, it's an all hands on deck type of approach, but not every single classroom in the district is moving. You've got classrooms that are largely unaffected by this, and you've got classrooms and schools that are largely affected by this. So you might say those two days may be looking different for some folks than they do the rest of the year. HR is here if you want more specifics than that, but that's kind of a broad stroke of what I would say. Anything you want to add to that?
So if classified staff is wanting to work, there will be work for them to have
Absolutely.
on those expected days.
Yep.
Okay.
If you've got folks that are like, hey, this represents a material change for my day, I'm not interested, they're always invited to take their leave.
Okay. And then my only other concern would be what teachers had planned activities for during that day. Like, are there field days that are needing to be moved? Like, logistically, are we creating more problems?
Good question. So we did give this to building administrators, help me out friends, about a week to 10 days ago. They were to flush out individual issues at their buildings with their plans and otherwise, because of course we cannot track every single one of those, right? The one major material change I'm aware of is Warren's graduation, the so-called graduation. Promotion, sorry. 8th grade promotion would likely shift from Thursday to Monday. So that's probably the biggest material change I'm aware of. I would also guess that final schedule, specifically at the secondary level, is probably going to move up and start a little sooner. As you can imagine, they will lose days, and so those teachers will have the ability to start finals earlier or something else in that regard. As far as those individual field days, et cetera, we're going to absolutely support buildings and working with them. What I don't want is any loss of student experiences, as you can imagine. But at the same time, they now have 2 less days to get things in the schedule, if that makes sense. Again, another reason why I wanted to meet today, because I think this decision does have the proverbial domino effects regardless of what we do.
Any other comments, questions?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, on 143.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes, we did need a waiver of notice, sorry, back to one of the more perfunctory things that we need to do. Because this was noticed on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, we would need to waive the 3-day notice, so.
We've signed it, so does that count or do we have to take a motion?
I would still recommend taking a motion. Sorry about that.
I move that we approve a waiver of notice for today's meeting.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Okay, sorry about that.
Do I need to read this, or do we just need to?
Yes, we should have language ready to be read. It's a first and a second, but you are effectively shortening the school calendar from what you originally would have adopted with KSTE. So that's the motion and or the action that's being taken today. What's that? Correct, yep.
So this was for the waiver, it's done. Okay. And I have language for the other one.
Okay, so moving on to adoption of the agenda.
Madam President, I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and item number 2, shortening of the 2025-2026 school year.
I've got one question. Talked to LNEA about it.
We did, yep.
They're probably in favor, I assume.
Stakeholder input would include LNEA and building principals as well as district captain. We did not survey parents, we did not ask for that level of input, just given the level of urgency. And for what it's worth, we didn't want to put it out there necessarily for everybody before we had the ability to kind of make sure it would work logistically. But our primary stakeholder groups were LNEA and building administration.
Thank you.
Dr. Adams, if I could just make one point. On Wednesday, obviously, per the negotiated agreement, they get a work day as they normally do. Usually it's a half day, but this will be a full day work day with the built-in. But checkout is from 2 to 4 on that Wednesday, and then checkout for teachers then on Thursday is from 8 to 4. So it's important that you know people are still coming to work on Wednesday. Their checkout is only for those 2 hours if they wish to do that.
And then this also affects Ryan's team with technology. Are you guys prepared to receive all the student
Yep.
items back? Okay.
Anything else? I'd like to make a motion that we shorten the 2025-2026 school year by 3 days.
3 days for students.
3 days for students.
I'll second.
All those in favor? 4-0. Okay, motion passes. Item 3, adjournment.
Just FYI, we've got notices set to go out to families as well as staff. We'll probably be pushing send before we're done for the day. Sound good? Thank you all for your time.
All right, thank you. This concludes our special board meeting. And thank you very much.
Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all.